Mistakes happen in life, and not only in life, mistakes happen in games. And my job is to help you guys out to do not make those mistakes, or even if you have done it, how to fix it, right? Today's video will be top 5 mistakes which Call of Dragons players are making in this game. Doesn't really matter if you are a free to play player or pay to play player, right? Everybody makes kind of same mistakes in this game. So after watching this video, hopefully it will be easier for you guys to progress your accounts in a way that you want, right? And don't forget to click like, subscribe, because it helps me out so much. So, top one mistake which players are making is of course regarding faction, right? Because when you start the game, first ever choice you have in Call of Dragons is basically regarding factions, right? So, first of all, let's say Spring Wardens are cavalry faction, League of Order is a mage faction, and Wilderberg is archer faction, right? So you would say, what's the mistake about factions, right? In my opinion, the number one mistake regarding faction is that when the players are starting the game, they feel like factions matter. So, in my opinion, especially first couple of months, faction bonuses and factions in general does not matter, right? When you start the game, you have to think about your primary hero, Gwenwyn, Waldir, and Bahar. That's how you should think about factions, like at least 6 months, right? At least you will understand how the gameplay is played in Call of Dragons, and well, until you are maxed out player, it will be hard for you to fully grasp what factions are giving to you, but especially for the starters, faction bonuses, special units, basically they don't matter, because when you start the game you won't gonna have enough troops to actually test them out, and you won't gonna have enough PvP activity because of the less troops, so you will utilize faction bonuses. So my number one advice with this mistake would be, don't look at the faction bonuses and don't look at the faction flying units, right? At first, look at the starting hero. The starting hero will help you to actually learn the game, and it will help you to actually decide later to the game which faction you are going to be playing in the future, right? Because at the start you are choosing your faction, but you have also an item which will help you to change faction whenever you want it. So we have a free faction change card, basically, right? So when you start the game, just go with the first heroes, starting heroes, mages, and in general, I believe starting as a League of Order is a great choice. Even if you are a cavalry player, even if you are archer player, if you're gonna start with League of Order, your beginner gameplay will be easier, because Walder is basically one of the best epic heroes in the game, right? Top 2 would be Gwenwyn. Gwenwyn has a pretty good strengths in terms of awakening skill, because Gwenwyn is amazing against behemoth battles, and I believe having a starting hero who is also great in behemoth fights and PvE is a good idea, right? That's why I believe Bahar is one of the weakest starting heroes in the game, and even if you are archer player and you are going to be archer main, my advice would be to not start with Wilderberg, right? You can always go to Wilderberg at the, I don't know, 6 months time, when you have like at least 500k troops, archers, 600k archers, at least 2 marches of the archer heroes, archer troops, and also at least 2 full marches of the wyverns, because there's the archer flying units, right? And that's the idea, which I think a lot of players are making mistake in the faction scenarios, because they feel like that factions actually matter at the start of the game, which is pretty false, right? So we can easily move to the top 2 mistake, and of course, top 2 mistake always goes to the VIP store. You might say, what's the mistake in the VIP store, which is pretty a lot, right? First of all, when you start the game, especially, you have to use your gems to make the VIP store level 8. That's the mandatory achievement which every single player should have done when you started the game, and if you have not done it, go to the level 8, use your gems, and unlock second research queue, plus with one chosen legendary hero token, right? After that, my advice would be to not spend gems at all in VIP store, right? Especially if you are a free-to-play player, spending gems on VIP store after level 8 is basically useless, and let me tell you why. First of all, you will have to spend tons of gems, and you want to use those gems for treaties and for arrows, for heroes, for artifacts, so basically for everything, right? If you are going to spend all of those gems to increase levels like level 9, level 10, 11, basically what your account will have, you will have a good level on VIP store, you won't gonna have good levels on heroes, you won't gonna have good levels on rally building or watchtower, you won't gonna have good levels on your artifacts, and maybe you won't even gonna have good artifacts on your account. So if you want to spend gems, and that's also mandatory, level up to the level 8. After that, don't ever spend gems on the points if you are not really close to the level upping, right? Because I believe having a good alliance is enough in order for you to increase levels. By myself, I have my own example. I used my gems to level 8. After that, I have not used a single gem in order for me to increase the level on VIP store. So, gems until level 8. After that, let your alliance do all the work, and it will be helpful for you also, because you will be using those gems in a much better ways in the game, right? That's the second mistake which I think a lot of players are doing, and hopefully after watching this video it will be easier for them to understand how VIP points and experience and levels work, right? The number three mistake which players are making, not only when they start the game, but also while they are playing for years, right? Basically, in my opinion, especially if you are a free-to-play player, you have to have one main troop type. It depends on your gameplay. It can be cavalry, it can be infantry, it can be cavalry, it can be mages, it can be marksmen, or it can be flying heroes in general. But I believe choosing one main troop type for your heroes is mandatory. So basically, mistake is that if you are putting your legendary tokens in some cavalry heroes, you are putting your legendary tokens on some infantry or some marksmen, basically you won't gonna have a single good hero pair which is awakened or at least on a good levels, right? And trust me, levels of your heroes on skills matter a lot in PvP open field game, right? So choose your troop type, which is your favorite troops to play with. If you like long range, you want to go with mages. If you want to be a little bit tanky and deal high damage, you can go with marksmen. If you want to be cavalry and rush around the battlefield, go for them. Or maybe you want to be tanky, not only on battlefield, but also for behemoths, you will be infantry player, right? So whenever you're gonna decide which is your main troop type, you will use your all legendary tokens and all legendary medals in order for you to increase the strength of your main troop type heroes, right? Same goes for troops and troop count, and same goes for heroes. Basically, for my own experience, if I have not done it, I would not have awakened Kinara, I would not have had awakened Zaida. Same goes for Magrat, and basically you can see the star levels on my heroes. And the only reason why I have this good amount of levels and stars, because every single resources I have put on my archers. You can see my cavalry heroes here, they are basically nothing. You can check my infantry heroes, they are basically nothing, and also some magic heroes, they are basically nothing in terms of levels added to them, right? So the number three mistake is to never diversify your legendary tokens or legendary medals in this game, because they are one of the most rarest resource in the game, right? The top four mistake, which I think is a huge mistake, is always connected to the gems, right? Gems are the most rare resource in the game, and understanding how to spend gems is mandatory, which means if you don't understand how to use gems, you are making a big mistake. So let me tell you why, right? Especially if you start the game, you will have to spend gems on VIP level 8, you have to unlock a second builder. Meanwhile, there might be a lucky spins event where you can spend gems to unlock heroes. There might be event for Wheel of Destiny for more heroes, maybe Forge of Light. So basically, there are a lot of gem usable events where you want to have a lot of gems to get the rewards, right? So, main idea, don't spend gems when you start the game on events. Focus on builder, second builder, focus on second research, and focus on increasing levels on your rally drum, which is the way of increasing capacity army for your army. And also it's important to have level 25 because without this you won't gonna be able to unlock tier 5 troops. So treaties and arrows you will have to buy for gems. So basically, if you are using your gems for lucky spins, Wheel of Destiny, Forge of the Light, Riches of the Forest, you won't gonna have enough gems in order for you to have enough treaties and arrows to increase levels on these buildings. And without 25 levels on these buildings, it will be impossible for you to unlock tier 5 troops, which are the strongest troops in the game. So basically, understanding the gem management is really important. Not only how to spend them, but also gathering gems is really important. You can gather 1k gems per week for free. And throughout my gameplay, you can see I have gathered 78k gems throughout my Call of Dragons gameplay, which is pretty a lot, right? Not only gathering, but only when you can, not all the time. Maybe you have a lot of resources and you don't have to spend them. You can go and sell resources for gems, which can work sometimes, right? There is a lot of situations where you are basically waiting for a long research to finish. You are only spending resources to recruit army, and you have a spare 50 million resources each every week, right? You can get easily 2.1k, no, even more, 2.7k gems from here. You can get 1k more from gathering. So basically 3.7k gems only from these two actions, right? So trust me, for a 1 month, it's a pretty good amount, and for a 1 year, that's even more, right? So basically, understanding how gems work in Call of Dragons is really, really, really important. And hopefully, after watching this video, it will be easier for you guys, right? So we are finally at the last mistake, which I believe it's a kind of new mistake for every player because this feature is just added to the game, and that's of course reliquary, right? You might have never seen it. I will explain it. In the past this was not possible, but after some updates, finally, if you are just unlocking epic city skins in Call of Dragons, you can actually activate them, and you can see on this top side times activated, which means from 5 I activated 5, right? You have to go for this reliquary building, go here and check if you have 5 in fire, right? Because that's how I'm getting 2.5% Legion attack by activating my not used city skins, and they are useful because I'm getting 2.5% Legion attack, which is pretty good addition, especially for tier 5 players, because they are getting, for them, every single percentage is really important, right? Of course, if you somehow have even more and better legendary city skin, which you are not using, you can activate the legendary skin, and instead of 0.5%, you are going to have 2% legion attack per legendary skin, right? So basically, if you have somehow got 5 legendary skins, you're gonna have way more than 2.5%, right? So basically, making a mistake when you have not activated your city theme skins is a pretty big mistake because, trust me, during the PvP, missing out 2.5% attack is a lot, especially if you are fighting with the 4 or 5 marches. That's pretty big change in terms of attributes, right? I guess that's it. We had our 5 mistakes, which I believe a lot of players are making, and hopefully after watching this video, you guys won't gonna be making same mistake again, and hopefully you understood your mistake and you are going to fix it, right? As always, if you have any questions, feel free to text me in the game or in Discord or in comment section. And as always, if you guys like the video, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really, really soon. Bye bye and good luck.